well. But if you go over to Blab, you can also join the conversation. So like I said, we're doing a simulcast between
Thank
Periscope
you. Someone
and
likes
Blab.
my hair.
I like the lady's hair. I did it for her. Yeah, because I do that too. You know what I'm saying? I got multiple
Yeah, because you
hairs.
have so much hair to work with.
Yeah, hey, listen, do this for me, everybody. Send this out to Twitter, your followers. We want to get as many people as we can on this conversation because we're getting it in. Last time I did a Periscope, I was with Lexi. We were talking about the doormat, characteristics of the doormat, and from a professional woman's perspective, a lot of times that can be frustrating. And just because you feel like so many areas of your life you have together and you're a mover and shaker, but over here, your relationship totally sucks. All right. And you can't figure men out. It's just a real frustrating situation. So, hey, what's up, Misha from North Carolina? This is cool because I can see all my Periscope stuff over here on my other laptop. Yeah, so go ahead, share this broadcast. I want to get as many people in here as I possibly can. But anyway, Tanya is my wonderful co-host. And Tanya, let's see, Tanya, how did I come to meet you? Well, there's an orphanage that I visit every once in a while. No, that's my other client. No, Tanya came to me. When Tanya came to me for relationship coaching, she was at a very interesting point in her life, very frustrated. And long story made short, we worked together, and let's just say that she went from what I would consider a doormat to a diamond. And a lot of people are probably surprised, or probably who know you now that didn't know you then, will probably be surprised that you would be defined as a doormat, because you're really so outspoken, and you really don't take any crap. And but today we're gonna get into some of the things that you were going through with your doormatitis phase of your life. And because here's what I believe. I believe that, there's a lot of healing. There's a lot of help that can come from sharing. And Tanya being willing to be vulnerable and just share some of the things that she went through, it's going to help somebody else. It really is. So listen, I want to take your questions, and I know that you're probably going to ask questions as you're hearing different things. If I miss it, don't get mad. Okay, because I got about 2 laptops, I got a phone, I got a lot going on. You feel me? So Tanya's going to try to catch some questions.
I don't know why she's thanking me in advance, but you're welcome.
Oh, she's probably thanking you because you're going to get out here and share all your business. Hey, who was that? Christian culture. You went from a doormat to a diamond too. That's what's up.
Awesome.
I'm glad to hear it. Every time I hear that somebody got pulled out of, the depths of doormat hell, I'm happy. Okay. So if you're on Blab and you want to send a question in, you just do the / and then the Q. And if you're on Periscope, then just put it out there, and we'll try to catch it. So, and like I said, if we don't see it at first, just put it in there again. Real quick, if you go to my website, am I recording this? If you go to my website, I am giving away free the electronic version of the Forbidden Secrets of the Forbidden Secrets of the Doormat, Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box. This is a book that I co-wrote that is basically, it talks about Deborah. Deborah's a professional woman. She's a mover and a shaker. She's an attorney, but let's just say that she makes all the doormat mistakes. And frustrated, can't figure it out, doesn't know why. And she works with a wonderful relationship coach. Just so happens to be the same name as mine, Doc Reed. That's crazy how that happened. And yeah, but it shows you how she goes from the process basically of going from doormat to diamond. And so you can go to my website and get that for free. And I think we ought to just get right into it, because I think they want to know how you went from a doormat to a diamond, because I do. All right, so here's the deal. Typically, for those of you who may not understand when we say doormat, what is a doormat? That is, it can be defined by saying you're a pushover, you're thirsty, you kind of got the martyr, mentality. And a lot of women do this mainly because, and I hear this all the time, I'm a nurturer, I'm a giver. Okay. And that's amazing. That's wonderful. I believe that's how God made you. But at the same time, if you do that, and it's not being reciprocated, it's not being appreciated, then you cast your pearls before swine. I think it'd be good to give some scripture. I don't know why. Just make it seem like I know something, But ladies, men are hunters. That's what we do. We like a challenge, and we don't really want it easy. We really don't. We will take it, and some will take advantage of it. But the thing that really stirs up our Holy Ghost is when we really have to work for it. Okay. Now, Tanya, like I said before, when you came to me and we started working together, you were at a very interesting point in your life. And I know a lot of people probably can't believe that you went through some of the things that you went through. But we're going to just kind of go down the list of some of the things that you endured, so to speak. Last week, you probably see a piece of paper that just flipped over my camera right there because those are what's called notes. And you've had so much stuff that I really just had to write it down. And when I was looking at the things that you had gone through, I really couldn't believe it myself, actually. So you were in a relationship, and I don't know if I should say his name, but you were in a relationship. Yeah, I'm not going to say his name. It's not important. And one of the things we talked about is when the doormat, somebody who's suffering or dealing with that issue, how no matter what you're doing, you will accept their call. It's you could be out with your friends or your family or whatever. Did you do that, and how did that look for you?
Oh man, well, yeah, I would answer that phone. I don't care if I was at church, at work. Excuse me. I gotta wait in a meeting. I don't care. I would answer that phone all the time. He would give me an attitude if he couldn't get in touch with me right away. But he never answered the phone call. Like when I called him, he wouldn't answer the phone. Barely answered the phone.
Okay.
So one time.
Tawanda.
What?
What's up? I was saying, what's up to Tawanda? So let me ask you this. Okay, with that being the case, was there something that said, okay, this ain't right? This ain't adding up. I mean, I'm giving it out, but I'm not getting it back. What's up, Rebecca?
I think at that point, like when I first was doing that, it was just natural for me to do. He would give me an attitude, be upset if he couldn't get in contact with me. So I felt like, oh, well, maybe he's concerned. So I don't want to make him concerned.
Okay, so so you looked at his controlling behavior as some sense of being concerned. Okay, all right. Well, let me say this, ladies. When you're like overly available for a guy, first of all, it does not make him appreciate you. Doesn't make him value you. It makes him tend to take you for granted. Okay. There again, we are hunters. We want to know that we got to put some work in. And even though, like you said, he complained, he was frustrated, but it's good for us, because that will make us dig in a little bit deeper, okay, to do what we need to do to be with you, right? What's the next thing you said that he had done? Let's see. Well, you stopped hanging around your friends and your family.
Well, at a certain point, they all knew he was a dirtbag, so they didn't like him. So they would kind of, you could tell that most of my friends are pretty much like me, and they didn't hold back, and they would say stuff, and my family would.
So you saying your friends are outspoken, so they're telling you, hey, he's a jerk. Come on, seriously, Tanya, what are you doing? This guy's a jerk. You can do better than him. You know what I mean? So when they would say that, what would be your response?
It's like, I love him. He's okay. He's not that bad. You don't know. You don't know him.
Yeah.
Thank God they didn't know him, but
Yeah,
if they really knew
and
him, they
ladies,
would
and
have.
see, and you know what? The doormat will do that. The doormat will make excuses, okay, on why her situation is not as bad as what it seems, okay. Because she said, well, you know, he really doesn't mean it, or she feels like she is getting something out of the deal, even though she's really not getting anything. Okay. And then sometimes there is a fear there that if I don't have this situation, okay, what else do I have? You know what I mean? And it's really not really appreciating yourself, because the doormat at the end of the day doesn't know who she is. Okay. Like for you, would you say that you had any idea of who you really were while you were going through this?
No.
An inkling
No.
of how you were? You know, I mean, because when somebody told you, Tanya, you don't have to put up with this. You're better than that. I mean, did you have any connection with that? Did you say, no, I'm not. I'm really not better than that.
I don't think
What's up,
that I
Dango?
said that consciously. I didn't say, oh, no, I'm not better than that. But I obviously didn't think so, because I stayed in the relationship, and I put up with it, and I accepted that that's just what it was.
Okay, all right. You know, some of the things that, oh God, you said that the scenario when you had gotten kicked out of your apartment uh, because of him.
Which time?
Yeah, I guess the one
I
you
got
said
kicked out twice.
okay, well, yeah, that's embarrassing. But listen, I guess the time, no, seriously, no, I'm just playing, but the
Literally.
time you said you stayed up all night packing.
Oh, yeah. I was getting kicked out of my apartment because of various things that he had done while he was there, as he was living with me. And it was the move out date, and I was packing overnight trying to get all my stuff out.
Lawrence said, did he
And
come help? No, he didn't help. Lawrence said, did he come help? You can.
He was there, and he was helping at that moment. But the reason why I was scrambling was because he wouldn't help the day before, and the couple of days before, over the weekend, that I was packing and moving. So he wouldn't help. So I was pretty much doing it by myself. So I was getting all the last, things out and cleaning and all that. I did that overnight. I didn't sleep at all. And I was starting a new job. It was my first day that Monday, and this was a Sunday. Stayed up all night. We finally finished. It was like 7:00 in the morning. I just had to go to the new place, take a shower, change my clothes, and go straight to my new job. He had my car. He dropped me off in my car, and I was there on no sleep.
What's his name? Hey, what's his name? Jody?
Close. Same
Jody,
initials.
my Jody. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Letters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like falling asleep, and I called him and said, you come during my lunch break. It's at this time. Just come and let me take a nap in the car so I can at least make it through the day. And he refused. He refused to come. And he was supposed to be like 10 minutes.
Wait a minute. Time out. Hold on. So let me make sure I clearly understand what you just communicated to me. He had your car.
He had my car.
Okay. So it's your car. You paid a bill on that.
I did. Yes.
Did he put in anything on that?
Nothing.
Okay.
Not even gas.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. That's why I met with it, Lawrence. So I just want to make sure I was following you. So it's your
what
car.
What did Lawrence say? I missed it.
Yeah, it's your car. You starting a new job. He's got the car. Van Slicker. If I'm jacking your name up, I apologize. I can't believe he's still living. Right. And he wouldn't come pick you up.
He wouldn't pick me up.
Bring your bologna sandwich.
He didn't have a job. He wasn't doing anything. He was supposed to be like 10 minutes away at his mama's house or somebody's house, He didn't come.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. But see, here's the thing, y'all. Y'all ain't heard nothing yet. Okay, see, that's why listening to this sounds crazy, but it happens every day to those beautiful people. Yes, and see, and that's what we're dealing with here. And and I really thank Tanya again. And please share this broadcast, because I believe that this is really going to help some people. It's going to help free some people, heal some people. Because honestly, there are a lot of um, women that you wouldn't think that are dealing with situations like this. And it doesn't have to be as extreme, but at the same time, if you're a diamond, queen, whatever you want to call these beautiful women, if you're not being treated the way that you deserve to be, and you have no idea, no frame of reference of what that is like, and what I do with coaching, I meet women all the time, and they're so frustrated and they don't know what to do, you know. And Tanya and I've been knowing each other, for a while now, and that's kind of how she was. But we're going to get to that, because when they hear that part of it, because even now they probably look at you and like, I can't believe that she put up with this. And some of this stuff that, you just shared with me recently, even I wasn't aware of. But let's get some more of the good stuff. And you would, I don't know if we can say this on national internet TV. You said you would buy him clothes and food and other paraphernalia. And he never bought anything, would just disappear on the holidays.
Why can't I say that on?
I'm being silly. Oh. You never take me seriously other times. Yeah, I know, Holy Ghost. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Go
ahead and tell the wonderful people what else that you, just out of sheer, I don't know, kindness, ignorance, you also supported his habit.
Because he was a straight pothead, like serious pothead. I mean, he had to get up in the morning and smoke weed as soon as he got up. And he was miserable without it. So, like I said,
Snoop is watching this. Like, I don't really see the problem.
Well, Snoop has the money to support his habit and the prescription, by the way. So yeah, he would. I basically supported that habit eventually because he was unbearable to be around if he wasn't high.
What's up, Marcy Mason? I hope I'm saying that right. As different people are joining in, I'm just shouting them out. Okay, so, yeah, the one situation I thought was interesting when, I think it was for Thanksgiving.
Which Thanksgiving? I gave you two Thanksgiving stories.
The one you had to drive for hours.
Oh yeah, that was the first Thanksgiving we were together.
Yeah.
And that particular Thanksgiving, I had to work the next day very early. My family goes to Maryland. I'm in New York. My family goes to Maryland to spend Thanksgiving usually. So they were going to Maryland. I had to work the next day, so I didn't go. So I didn't have anywhere to go on Thanksgiving. And yeah, I was looking for two Thanksgivings, I know. So I didn't have anywhere to go. He said he didn't have anywhere to go. So I was cool. I was like, all right, well, we just hang out together. It's not a big deal. But Thanksgiving Day, he said, oh, my grandmother wants to see me. She lives in Connecticut. I'm like, at first I was like, well, I don't know how you get in there. You want me to drop you off at the train? I don't, whatever. I don't have anywhere to go, So he was just the whole day, the whole morning, just annoyed, like talking on the phone, trying to get a ride, just annoyed, then pissed off because he had dreads and I used to twist his dreads and then I used to braid them into like a style. So that wasn't done, and he was annoyed that his hair wasn't done. I finally just did his hair because he was annoying me. I did his hair. His hair is done. Now he's dressed. He's getting dressed, and I'm like looking at him like, where are you going? And he just started flipping out. Like, he got to get to Connecticut. He's got to get there. And finally, I was just like, you know what? Fine, I'll drive you. Drove it. It took an hour, like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to get there. We get there. He didn't invite me in. He didn't, nothing. He was like, all right, love you, bye. See you later. Like, that was it.
Wait a minute, hold on. What did you do while he's sitting there inside the house or wherever? And I mean, where did you go? I mean, did you have to wait on him or drive around the parking lot? And
no, I went home. I went home. I left him there. I don't know how he got back. But I basically drove him, dropped him off, and went home and spent Thanksgiving by myself.
You know, here's the thing, ladies. And I know I got some guys out here just listening, and you know, feel more than happy or free to just join in. But what Tanya is sharing, it does seem a little extreme, because now, and I know on this Doormat, or when we talk about professional women, there's a couple of different styles. You have the CEO type of woman who says, I wish somebody would try to, you know, and that's kind of like a different side of it, where her challenge really is not at all being the doormat. Her challenge really is she's just too hard, you know. And we're going to even get into that in other periscopes. But the total flip of that, you know, is the doormat. So while you're sitting there and you're driving all the way back, it took you what, 2 hours to get back?
Yeah, it took me a long time to get back.
So, you know, and this is on Thanksgiving?
On Thanksgiving Day, yeah.
Okay. And so you're driving back, and so that wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back? I mean, for you to say, wait a minute, I'm better than this. Okay, I deserve more than this. Not another day will he treat me like this.
No, like, it didn't even, like, I thought it was inconsiderate and rude, and I was upset about it. But I mean, I really didn't, I don't know. And when I got home, I remember calling an older friend of mine and was explaining. I'm like, yo,
where did you drop him off? At his grandmama's?
He said it was his grandmother's, but you know, like, I found out later that he was involved in another relationship with a woman in Connecticut. So
all of a sudden he had.
I found out later that wasn't the truth. He spent it with her.
It was Keisha's house, right?
Basically.
Okay, all right. So you're driving back, and then you called a friend.
Yeah, and she was like,
you hear me?
Well, it's okay. I mean, it's a new relationship. You can't expect that he would. And you kind of went out for a little bit.
Your connection is doing something interesting. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello?
It's delayed.
Can you hear me? Now you're like, wait. Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, you were locking up and freezing a little bit. So, all right.
Okay. Because you're kind of delayed. So I don't know if
Yeah, you're delayed too. But just go ahead. Just wait till my words catch up. Because my words won't return to me void. So just go ahead.
Oh God.
I don't know.
So yeah, she told me that, you know, oh, don't worry about it. You know, basically, it's okay. It was a new relationship, that I shouldn't expect that he would invite me over. And I know that felt wrong, but you know, I just kind of.
Wait a minute. This is the advice that you got from your friend?
This friend was the married the pastor's wife that I used to be tight with.
Oh, bless her heart. This was First Lady.
Yes, lady.
Tell her not to get into the advice business when it comes to relationships and just.
Well, now I know.
Yeah. Just sit up there at the thing and look pretty and just say yeah, and amen and hallelujah. And give one of those every once in a while, but relationships, baby girl, don't do that. Don't even do it. Okay. Wow. Okay. And ladies, what I want you to take from this, because not everybody, but somebody saying, wow, I've been there, done that. Like, actually, I'm kind of like there right now. I believe give what you receive. Men are supposed to be the givers. We're supposed to pursue you. We're supposed to chase. We should be picking you up, taking you over to meet our family because, hey, she's the one and I want to introduce her to you, okay? She's somebody special in my life. And I understand, okay, holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's a big deal. So maybe when you just meet a guy, you might not necessarily get that. But what I'm saying is the flip side of that is not to drive this joker, okay, for 2 hours, all right, or an hour, whatever the case may be, drop him off. No, we're not doing that. Let the man initiate, okay? Let him, so if he initiates, if he does 5, you go 5, okay? That's my formula, all right? I'll meet you where you're at. But what I see is too many women, they'll go 10, and this guy won't go 2. He won't go 1. This guy, Tanya, that you was with, I don't even know if he woke up to go 0.
He was horrible. But I wanted to respond to something I saw someone say. He just said, "Just be pretty," and I just want to make the point. Like I'm not a dumbbell. I wasn't at that point.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a good point, because I don't want to, because somebody could listen to what we're saying and say that, well, that sounds like what a very desperate, uneducated, female young lady, that's something she would do. Okay, but give them a little bit about, your background, that you didn't just wake up in the projects one morning and just, and hey, if you're in the projects, I don't have no problem with it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that just wasn't necessarily her background.
Oh, okay. No, he's saying that was for the first lady, and I didn't see all the comments. Okay.
Oh, you saying just let her look pretty, but still, I mean, but somebody else may not understand it. You're educated, good job, professional, all of that. And you were doing that, when you were dating this guy. It's just that you had no idea, no real frame of reference, or expectation of how you should be treated, in the relationship. It was another one that you said.
And it just got worse and worse as the time went on. It just got worse. And I guess I had accepted
you're doing the Max
little.
Headroom. Your connection is you're like this.
I don't know, it might be your connection.
Your connection is weird. It sounds like you're.
I don't know if it's my connection.
It sounds like you're one of the Transformers.
Oh my God. Okay. Does it sound like that to anybody else, or is that?
Well, it would, because you're coming through my computer into the phone out to Periscope. Okay. All right, go ahead. Oh, she says I hear you fine. So, Pastor Rebecca.
Oh, so it's you.
I'm sorry. So I've lied on you. All right. Yes, it does.
Thank you.
It says she's fine.
Not the first time.
All right. I apologize. Sometimes women fall in love with what they think a man can be, what they want him to be. Yes, this is very true. You fall in love with the idea of romance and all of that. But we're going to look at because the reason I think it's important to kind of go through these different scenarios, because, you could feel, I've been guilty of that. Yeah. You can feel like I'm the only one, and it's one of the worst things to feel isolated. It's one of the worst things when you feel like you look at everybody else and they're happy and they got it all together, and they all booed up for, the holidays. And 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 you just feel so alone. So my biggest thing is I love to let people know that they're not in situations alone. There is help, okay? And there are people out here that can identify with what you're going through. Okay, or the man's representative, they know. Okay, you don't have to read that, Tanya, because I can only do one thing at a time. I'm a man. Okay, so the other situation that you had talked about, oh, how he would disappear every 2 months.
Yeah. So, basically, the whole time he was living with me and living with this other woman that I found out later on. Because when I found out, she was like, yeah, he lives with me. I was like, wait, how is that possible? He lives with me. And she was like, yeah, I know, because Keisha's house. She was like, oh, I know exactly what days he's with you. He's there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and he leaves Sunday night, right? And I'm like,
I've seen
yeah.
I've seen this, and it was on Dateline. Was that you? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I digress. But I thought I saw this.
I forgot the story I was telling.
Reverend, you're not that old to be that forgetful. He was living with you and somebody else. You say he would disappear every 2 months.
Oh yeah. So every 2 months, it seems about every 2 months, he would just never come back on that. He would leave and then never come back and wouldn't return my calls and barely return my calls, wouldn't tell me where he was. And I would straight flip out. Like, yeah, the sex was good.
What question you laughing at? Yeah, I know.
But it wasn't that. Honestly, it wasn't just that. That wasn't a reason. Like, who? I mean, I wouldn't stay with someone just because the sex was good, but it didn't hurt. But so he would leave. He wouldn't answer my calls. He wouldn't tell me where he was. I still don't know where he was at those times. And he would, I would lose my mind. I would call him. I would text him. I would leave him messages, go off. Then I started calling. I used to look through his phone. I looked through his phone and would see these messages to other girls. Had all their phone numbers. I started calling them, texting them. Crazy. Never, not my personality. I never went through anyone's phone ever before, and definitely would have never called someone. And I totally did.
Yeah. Your feed is breaking up again. Say something.
I don't know why.
Okay, it's cool now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of finished my sentence.
Okay, well, somebody, and they asked a very good question. Why did you put up with it? I mean, because
why?
I think we built a good case that you definitely was walking out the door.
It was a lie.
Yeah, and here's the thing, y'all. This is like really just scratching the surface. But why did you put up with it?
Oh, simple stuff. I don't know. I was in it. You know what? Like someone said earlier, like, you kind of fall in love with what, they showed you at first, or what you thought. You kind of built up in your mind what you think it could be or what you think it is. And this is somebody that I knew since I was in high school. We actually dated. Someone asked me, I'm gonna answer that question. We dated in high school, and I should have known then. He cheated on me in high school, which is why we broke up. But in high school, I was like, oh, hell no, and was over didn't talk to him again until 20 years later. He shows up and I'm like, wow, we had so much in common. We had on, a certain level, we had so much in common. Like he sang, I wrote, we used to write songs together at home. I never experienced something like that. It was fun.
So he was like Tina. Yeah.
Yeah, we had this very similar sense of humor, so we laughed a lot. Like there was fun stuff, but there was a lot of dysfunctional stuff.
So you had chemistry on some level, okay, because you've got 4 areas of chemistry: mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. So you guys connected, I guess, at the mental level, and maybe the emotional level, or maybe even the physical. Clearly, spiritually, no. And I think that was probably sound like it was enough to make you think, oh, yeah, this is a good situation. Did you think you could change him? What's up, Mark? See, Mark just joined.
You know what? I thought that it was me. I thought that I could be better for him, that I could somehow make him realize that I was worth him treating me better and really committing to me. So I thought that I could, I guess I did think that I could change him by being better. So that's why I went over and above anything. I just did whatever he wanted. I did whatever he asked because I thought that would make him realize that I was good enough.
And that is a very similar to how abused people will respond if you're abused emotionally, physically. Proving your worth, Lauren said, because it's almost like there's a job that you're trying to prove that you deserve to have. Instead of knowing, and this is really in line with the doormat mindset, instead of knowing that, I already know I'm good enough. I know who I am. You're under this perpetual, cycle of you have to prove it. And what happens is the abuser, in this instance, will at sometimes reward you, but then other times punish you. Okay, so the reward, phase will pull you back in. Oh, baby girl, I didn't mean it. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, when whatever, you buy into that, and then you like, okay, whatever you do, and then you get punished again. Okay, so you're in this vicious cycle. So why? But that's just a symptom, really, being the doormat in that mindset. That's just a symptom of a larger cause. Why do you think you were the doormat to begin with? Why do you think you were set up to be that or play that role?
Well, I mean, you want to go back to
who was Tanya or who was Tanya not that, you felt that way?
Well, I didn't know. I really didn't even, I wouldn't say I didn't love myself. I have to say that I didn't love myself. But, a lot of people say, oh, you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. And if you would have said to me at that time, do you love yourself? I would have said, yes, I love myself. But I didn't learn how to love. I didn't know how to love myself. I'm still learning how to love myself, but I think that's the biggest thing. And then, same old story, daddy issues. And
your connection is still, I'm going to need you to get a better router is what I really, put that on Amazon, a better router.
I'll put that on my list. My wish list.
Yeah, put that on your Santa list. A better router. Your whole internet game is suspect. Okay, are you next to a nuclear plant or something? Oh, I know what it is.
My router is right.
Did they move out of 4A? Because I know you was hijacking theirs for a while. Yeah, somebody else moved in, or they moved 2 doors down. and now the connection is not here like it was.
Yo, I think it's your computer. Someone said that they could hear me fine.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If that's what helps you sleep at night. Okay, go ahead. You were saying that it wasn't at that time if someone had asked you if you loved yourself, you would say, yeah, I definitely love myself, right? So that
Yeah, I would have said that.
Okay.
I would have
So
said that, and
all right, so believing at this time that you did love yourself and all, saying all the right things, you going to church and you a good person trying to be the best person you know how to be. What was it ultimately, I guess, for you? What was the straw that broke the camel's back for that situation? Because you're obviously no longer with that guy. How did that come to an end?
he left. He was the one that left. The last time, I mean, I told you he was disappearing every couple months. That really didn't stop. I mean, as the relationship went on, the 2 months turned into 3 months. He would stay around for 3 months and then disappear, and then 6 months, and then but one time he left, and at that point when he left, I was getting kicked out of the next apartment because of him. Didn't know where I was going because I had to find somewhere with him, but I couldn't afford a place because I had to pay for everything. So I couldn't afford a place, like a decent place that, both of us, and I was stressed to the max or whatever. And he actually, one day I came home. Well, he called me while I was at work.
Slowing down. Okay, now
I don't know what to do.
You call back up to yourself. All right, go ahead.
He called me while I was at work and said, I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just it's delayed, so I'll just keep talking. Lauren said, "Give us an interpretation."
That is funny.
So he called me at work and said, "I'm leaving. I'm on a bus to Atlanta." And I was like, "What do you mean? You have my car. What do you mean you're on a bus?" And he's like, "Yeah, I left your car a couple of towns away." Yeah. And so I had to figure out how to get my car. And I got home and everything was gone. All his stuff was gone and some of my stuff was gone. DVDs. I told you, like, he took DVDs that he didn't even watch. He took chick flicks and Finding Nemo, stuff he wasn't gonna watch. There was no point of him taking that wasn't his. He took it. He took the navigation thing out of my car. He doesn't have a car. Why did he take that? He took my change, my spare change. I was in a jug, a plastic water bottle jug. That dude took that. Like, everything he could, cash I had.
You think it's my connection?
Clean me out. I don't know.
Said Christopher, I think it's your connection. Crackhead move, right? No doubt. I don't know. You know what? It could be my connection. Was he on drugs outside of Green?
So he wasn't.
So what was it that finally turned it around for you? Because clearly you're not in the same space now.
Someone said they hear both of us fine. That's weird.
So what turned it around for you?
What turned it around? Well, I'm thrown off because the it's
delay.
so
I know.
weird.
It's okay.
Yeah. I have to stop looking at it. Well, I found you.
See what?
I found you. There, you turned it all around. Start singing a song.
Yeah, that sounds definitely like I just paid you. Yeah.
Thank you. Check in the bank account. Well, it's true. It is true. I remember just, you know, because I didn't, after that breakup, I was it was probably like a good year, maybe little less than a year before we started working together. And at first I just didn't date, and then, you know, and he kept trying to come back, and I probably would have let him back, but when I had to move, I moved in with a friend of mine, and I just physically couldn't let him back because everybody knew what happened. At this point, everybody knew like all the truth, because the whole time I was kind of hiding stuff and lying and, you know, making it seem that things that were happening didn't happen. So I just wasn't physically able to take him back, but I probably would have still done it. And so thankfully I couldn't.
So what was it that made you reach out to me?
I knew that I needed help. I knew that I needed to do something differently, but I just didn't know what that was, because before I gotten into that relationship, I had a string of horrible relationships. And each time I got into a new relationship, I swore that person was different. And really, they really weren't. And in fact, it got worse and worse and worse. Obviously, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. He was like, and I really realized, I'm like, it's obviously me. I'm obviously choosing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong. So it came across.
So when we started working together, what changed?
My perspective, I think, and I learned how to love myself. I'm still learning how to love myself, but
and I guess what I'm looking for, you know, for somebody listening, you say, okay, yeah, that's unicorns and rainbows, you know, give them tangibly, you know what I mean? What was it that? Because I mean, you and I went through a pretty extensive process. You know, it wasn't just you know.
Right, we didn't even talk about relationships.
You are healed right now. I mean, it didn't happen like that.
No,
you know.
No, we didn't even talk about relationships with men at first. We talked about my relationship with myself. We dealt with those issues that I had, issues with my past, with, you know, my father, my mother. Like growing up, I had, you know, some pretty serious issues that affected how I saw myself and how I saw myself in relationships. So we had to like get all that stuff out of the way first before we even talked about that. It took a while.
Was that process easy for you?
No, it's terrible.
Thank you.
No, seriously, it was hard. It was so hard. You know, facing so many things that I hadn't even talked about or faced ever, and really dealing with them and really looking at them, examining them, and talking about them is not easy. It's not easy. It was really, really hard. There were plenty of times that I had to cuss you out because I didn't want to do an assignment, or, you know, it was seriously like school for your soul.
Yes.
I had so much reading and writing to do.
And you did not want to do it. You hated it, but you know, I think the amazing thing about working with you, I always saw from day one your potential. I saw who you really were. I knew that you didn't know or see who you really were. I saw the diamond immediately. I'm like, oh wow, she's amazing, and I could see all the potential. So my job really was easy. It was just guiding to who you already were, who I saw, and and that's my job. When I'm working with somebody, is to say, okay, they just don't see it yet. Okay. And there's a lot of things in the way that's preventing them from seeing it. And it's my job to help guide you to that. So, and I think it's very important that you said that it was challenging, because honestly, you know what I think people want? I think people want it to be easy.
They do. You do. Like, just want to, oh, let me watch a movie. Let me lay down on a couch and
let me say this.
talk.
You had worked with people before, right? Didn't you have counseling, and you had like 12 therapists?
I did numerous times over the years, a few different times over the years, and no bueno. one counselor ended up telling me more of her business than she was helping me with mine.
Yeah, and I don't say that in order like I'm wonderful, because I'm not, I mean, I am who I am, but it's not just about, counselors, doctors are like mechanics. You got good ones and you got, not so much. But
well, and your approach is different. Your approach is not to let me let you sit on the couch and you can talk for an hour about your problems, and then I'll say see you next week. That's not what happened, so because really if that's the case, what's going to change besides I'm just coming to vent? I'll feel better for a second because I got something out, but I'm not doing anything to change. So I think that's why your approach is different, because that's not what it was.
Who would you say you are now versus who you were then?
Amazing.
So amazing. Right.
Amazing. I would say that I'm a work in progress, but I'm definitely not what I was.
So when you look at this, Tanya, the stuff that you sent me and all the things that you did, do you feel like you have any connection to her?
It's a weird, because I definitely remember that. I remember being there. I remember feeling all the things that I felt. But when I was typing that stuff out, it was kind of like, this is unbelievable. This is unreal. This is ridiculous. Like, who does? And the fact that it was so much stuff in one relationship, it was kind of crazy, and you think so, like on the outside, people listening to this, like, that's ridiculous. She put up with all of that, but you really do put up with all of that, and you don't even realize, because it just is what it is, but from the outside looking in, it was definitely crazy. It's definitely crazy, and I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing that again.
Let me say this, because there's somebody watching you, even if you're watching this on the replay, and you feel like you really do identify with, what Tanya has talked about. I mean, you're really seriously hurting right now. You feel broken, hopeless, all of that stuff. And because you feel like I've given all of myself, and I don't know why I'm not getting anything in return. Why I'm being treated like somebody said, like discarded garbage. Okay. And that's a very painful, because women, you are wired and designed to be special. That's why I compare you to a diamond, because of the brilliance, because of the shine, because, how amazing God made you. And I gotta say this, because the change is not easy. So right now, I'm only talking to those people really who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like you, I ain't talking to you. You move. Yeah, you in the way, Greg. You. I'm talking to you, Greg. Because you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah, I see you. Don't try to. Yeah, I see you right there. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired, straight up. And you really do have to make a decision. You really do have to take a leap of faith and decide to do something and change. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary because when you talk about leaving Egypt, so to speak, and you want to go to the proverbial promised land, well, there's some wilderness in there. All right. But it is what you need to go through to get where you need to be. You know, Tanya, if she hadn't, and trust me, y'all, Tanya did not trust me. No, listen, I had to give her my social security number. That's the running joke between us. I'm like, I ain't never have to go through this with nobody else, but I understood, that she needed me. So, I put up with her foolishness. And, but yeah, it's not easy. So if you know that's you, if you know you need to change, do something about it, whether it's reach out to me, reach out to somebody else, but get the help, okay? If you want to reach out to me, you go to my website, christopherreed.org, email me, and we can have a discussion. I do a free 30-minute consultation, whatever. Like I said, if there's somebody else, do whatever you got to do. But before we jump off, tell them about the cruise.
Oh yeah, so we're and I forgot the information, but we are having a
You're not prepared.
I'm not prepared. I'm so not prepared. Next October, we are doing a cruise. We're going to the Bahamas and doing all the normal cruise stuff. But in
somebody said check the echo. It's you.
I don't know how to check the echo.
Yeah, if for some reason there's an echo. Is your volume turned down on your Periscope?
Yeah, it's off.
Okay. Because it wasn't.
How about I turn it off? Is it still an echo?
One being curious, he just helped us out. Well, I've been hearing it, but I was like, I didn't know what was causing. Yeah, I still hear it. I don't know. We tested it out yesterday. We didn't hear it, but anyway. We're wrapping up anyway, but okay, there's a cruise. When is the cruise? Next, when is it? When is the cruise?
It's next October. And we're featuring you. We're doing relationship coaching, fitness coaching, finances, and along with a wonderful trip to the Bahamas. Hey. If you want information on that, I don't know what to do.
Don't try to.
Like I said, I'm not.
Don't try to leave me there just because
go to Chris's website and inbox Chris, and we'll get you information.
Yeah, come to me. I'll get you more information. Go to my website. See the wonderful interview we did last week with Lexi. I think you have a crush on Lexi that makes me feel uncomfortable, but we could talk about that. You have a girl crush on Lexi. I don't know why you're like the biggest groupie. Yeah. And like I said, the book, you get that free. Go to the website, Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box, ladies. If you got the Doormat thing going on, hey, Kasima, send this broadcast out. This is my first blab. This is our first blab, actually. So it totally looked like I did not know what I was doing. It was because I didn't, straight up. And I'm okay. Yeah. It's therapy for me just to be just really honest and candid, to just say, I don't know. I just wake up every day and just say, I don't know, because I think it keeps you strong.